Sadly, there's nothing bubbly to report on today's docket, folks. First up, we have the latest on what poor Rebel Wilson suffered through at the hands of Sacha Baron Cohen, and also the undeserved backlash she's been dealing with for being brave enough to talk about it. Then we'll cover everything you need to know about Trump these days. Maybe the cliff notes. I don't think we have enough time for all his hot air. And finally, the complete and updated timeline of the Hailey Bieber and Selena Gomez feud. Like, I get it, girl. My heart was broken when Selena broke up, and I have an ex I'll never get over as well, but feuding with his wifey is super messy. Before I start hissing like a tea kettle, let's get everything to do with Rebel Wilson exposing Sacha Baron Cohen out of the way. So her new book, Rebel Rising, has only been out for a short period of time, and it's already proving to be one of the biggest celebrity memoirs of the year. Well, other than Becky Lynch's. The Australian actor does not hold back in her writing, sharing everything about her rocky upbringing, her fertility journey, and yep, all the details about Sacha. For context, in 2016, Rebel co-starred alongside him in The Brothers Grimsby and claims he lewdly harassed her on set. Before the release of the book, Rebel shared a little video on Instagram where she said she worked with this massive a-hole and that there was a whole chapter dedicated to him in the book, and when she finally was like, yeah, this is the guy's name, I feel like a lot of us were kind of like, really? Like, I've never heard anything really bad about him before. She also claimed that the Borat star was trying to threaten her and was attempting to stop the book from being published. She said that she felt like every time she'd speak to him, he mentioned that he wanted her to go nude in a future scene, and she was like, haha, I don't do nudity. Apparently at one point during the shoot, Rebel was told she needed to be on set to film this additional scene, and when she arrived on set to film said scene, Sacha pulled his pants down and said, now I want you to stick your finger up my rear end. She was scared. She wanted to get out of there. She compromised. She slapped him on the rear and improvised a few lines and was like, let's just get this over with. Sacha has denied any of this happened. Right before the book was released, one of his representatives said, while we appreciate the importance of speaking out, these false claims are directly contradicted by extensive detailed evidence, including documents, film footage, and eyewitness accounts from those present before, during, and after the production. Rebel said that the experience from all of this led her to refuse to promote the movie at all, because that was the only power she had left. Here's an interesting thing. Publication of the memoir has been delayed indefinitely in Australia, as well as in the UK and New Zealand. And when somebody spoke to a representative from HarperCollins Australia, they were like, we have no further comments. Also, any fans in those areas that pre-ordered the book, they've been refunded and had their orders canceled. I don't know about you, but that's a little suspicious to me. It must be a Tuesday because Donald Trump is back in the headlines once again. Last week, a Manhattan judge rejected a presidential immunity bid by Trump, saying the effort was too little and too late. Kind of like when you turn in an assignment past the due date and still want full credit? Not gonna happen. Sorry, I should give context. Trump had sought to delay his hush money trial and to keep jurors from seeing statements he made while being president about the $130,000 payment that silenced adult film actor Stormy Daniel just 11 days before the 2016 election. He wanted to delay the hush money trial until after the US Supreme Court decides on whether presidential immunity protects him in his federal election interference case. Oral arguments, by the way, are set for April 25th. But here's the thing. Trump failed to explain why he waited until early last month to raise presidential immunity in a pretrial motion in this case. Look, sounds like a last-ditch effort, or a lawyer that doesn't really want to be defending him but has to do his job. Here's the info. Think like malicious compliance stuff. Like, here's the info, but oops, almost too late to use it. For reference, state law generally requires pretrial motions to be filed within 45 days after arraignment, and the judge called Trump's excuses for the late motion inadequate and not convincing. Trump had blamed the timing of his motion on prosecutors, and on the US Supreme Court's February 28th decision to hear his federal presidential immunity claims. Even so, Trump's been on notice for months that the hush money case prosecutors intended to use statements he made while president at the trial, so the argument doesn't work. To quote the judge, the defendant had ample notice that the people were in possession of and intended to use the various statements allegedly made by defendant on social media, in public, and in various interviews. He was also well aware that the defense of presidential immunity, even if unsuccessful, might be available to him. The court found that the defendant had a myriad of opportunities to raise the claim of presidential immunity well before March 7th. Ergo, motion denied. I should have worn pink today to have an Elle Woods moment. And finally, what's a week without Selena Gomez's feuds with various celebrities? Her opponent this time? Yep, Hailey Bieber again. So Hailey Baldwin Bieber, technically, and Selena Gomez go way back. They were both introduced to Justin in 2009 and have been involved in lengthy, complex relationships with the singer throughout the years. So Selena and Justin first sparked romance rumors in December of 2010, and Hailey was like, tweeting away being like, yes, love this. Following Hailey and Justin's marriage in 2018, the girlies have been fighting, and you gotta wonder what's fact and what's PR at this point. Well, let's go back through the timeline together, shall we? I don't know if we have time for all of it, but let's see what we can cover. So even though the Jelena rumors started in 2010 like I mentioned, it was actually on February 28th of 2011 when they officially confirmed the relationship by making their red carpet debut at the Vanity Fair Oscars party. Hailey tweeted her support for the couple in May of that year, saying, I'm for sure 100% team #Jelena. The tweet's been deleted, but like, cute. And like the tweeting continued into 2012, with Hailey proclaiming she is beyond flawless and he's, he's Bieber. They are the perfect relationship, forever alone. The same month she was also like, Selena is so freaking good looking. It wasn't until Jelena broke up for the second time in 2014 that rumors about Hailey moving in on him starting to swirl. Bieber tried denying it by saying, I'm super single and this is my good friend. You would know otherwise. But fans knew better. A year later, in November of 2015, following Selena's split from music producer Zedd, Justin was spotted serenading her. And one of the songs he sang, it's rumored to be about her. Then, a month later, Hailey and Justin confirmed their relationship. In February of 2016, they confirmed they weren't exclusive, they broke up, and what happened next? Justin got back together with Selena, and then when they broke up again, he got engaged to Hailey. Yep, my brain is spinning, and this is where it gets juicy. In October of 2019, Selena released Lose You to Love Me, and it seems like it's about Justin, especially the line that reads, in 2 months you replaced us like it was easy. And on the same day, Hailey posted an Insta story that was a screenshot of the song I'll Kill You by Summer Walker. She did deny that it was in response to Selena, but the suspicious timing says otherwise. Most of the shade since has been the girls asking people not to send threats, but there's something bubbling there. I just know it. And that's it for me, folks. I've been Alexa, resident emo girly. See y'all next time.